these games, just because it's like you're actually there kind of fighting. Now, they always take a little bit of artistic liberties with some things, put some creative boxes up on things so that, you know, it helps with the overall gameplay. But for all intents and purposes, it's all pretty evenly set up. Closest I like I said, I haven't been to the actual bridge itself, but closest I've been is I've actually been to a little airborne museum, which is right up in here. Frankly, really kind of a cool place. If you're ever in the area of Arnhem, awesome place to go. Just kind of see some experiences and see some of the history from that area and the World War II history in the area. So definitely very, very awesome place. I enjoyed it. Kind of did it on a day trip over to Arnhem. I believe I was living in Amersfoort at the time, but made a trip down there and just had a lot of good old fun. And so for DLB, this is really taking place in their backyard. And so they're all like, oh, you know, Night Falcon, it's actually a pretty terrible little museum. But in all reality, it's, if I remember right, it was kind of small, but still, I mean, pretty cool to be able to go and see all these things that for me as an American was rather interesting, things I don't see every day. Didn't have the chance to ever go down into France, to Normandy or other things like that, but I had a chance to go down and see plenty of this stuff in the Arnhem area, a few other historical areas, been in the on Frank House, and actually been there a few times. But at the end of the day, lots of history. Very excited for both of these teams that have so much history inside their back doors. And I saw, let's see if I can find it. Kind of fun TikTok. Here it is. That kind of goes to show the bridge. So you got the real life view, and then as you go under, it transitions. Boom. I let loose. So I thought that was a pretty cool little thing that was made here by Sushi Kato, it looks like. So ultimately, yeah, kind of goes along with saying just enjoying it. Just enjoy seeing all the fun stuff that's there, and yeah, just reminds you of all the fun, all the history that a lot of these maps have. But with that, we'll go ahead and go back to the actual broadcast side of things here as we get ready for this actual gameplay matchup. All right, just gonna check, make sure we aren't missing anything on my side here. Okay, looks like a few minutes, 2 people need to restart some consoles. Okay, no worries. We'll just kind of chill out here. Don't know how many of you guys have been watching the Olympics, but I've been enjoying it. Threw a poll up. So if you'd like to go ahead and weigh in. Now, YouTube only allows me a few different options, and there's a whole bunch of different sports in the Olympics, so lots of different events. I personally am a big hockey fan, been enjoying it greatly. In fact, I'll probably be turning on the US versus Germany matchup that's going on right now here in just a moment, so I can see that going on in the background. But yeah, I don't know what it's like for you guys in other areas of the world, but curling is a surprise fan favorite here in the United States for some reason. I've tried it once. It's fun. Was able to effectively get those stones down the ice. But man, I tell you, it's hardest part's definitely doing the throws and getting yourself going, trying to be in that kneeling position and slide those stones down. But at the end of it, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. If you've never had the chance to do it, I highly encourage you to go give it a go. It seems like it's one of those sports that's so accessible. Everybody can do it, but then you go out and you give it a go, and you see for yourself that you know, it's not as easy as it seems. Well, what we can do while we're waiting for people to go ahead and join in, I just got a note. About 5 minutes is what we're looking for here. Let's see if I can get this pulled up here. All right. So, last match I actually got the chance to broadcast here for DLB. It was actually going to be their semifinal matchup, I believe, versus RDG that they played out here on Driel. So let's go here. Go back to my desktop. I think I want to make sure my desktop audio working. Probably not. Let's go ahead and add that in here.
They're in this semifinal match.
All right, that should make it work.
Between DLB and RGG. Not
all right.
So far, plenty of action on both sides.
So a fun match nonetheless. When it was broadcast. So I mean, RDG came into this matchup. I can't remember. Yeah, they were fully undefeated, and DLB on the other hand hadn't had the chance, hadn't scored, hadn't won a game. We'll put it that way.
And as of right now, they're doing well at it.
But they came in as the allies here on Brick Factory, and man, did they put up a good fight. So initial cap ended up going to them, of course, because of the extra benefit and the pressure that they have to be able to get onto that point first. As you can see, DLB did very well holding him out for quite some time. But RDG, much to their credit, was able to go ahead and work their way through. About 15-20 minutes in, able to go ahead and get on top. And it stayed like that for quite some time, but DLB did not give up. They kept coming at it, kept pushing.
And I believe that's going to be all three applauses for tuning in, whether now live or...
And let's see, when did they officially take it back? I think it was they capped it once. Or did they break it? Okay, yeah, so they were able to jump in, finally recap it with about 10 minutes to play. And from there, was just able to go ahead and hold on to it. So let's go for these last few minutes here while we're waiting for people to go ahead and get in. I'm just going to let this play for you guys so you guys can see how that all went while we're waiting for everything to roll up and in.
Garrison for DLB was taken out. A scoundrel in Steve 1993 back there causing havoc for RDG. Roxy Satchel going off Ice Squad, the only person in the area that could potentially get the Garrison up. Can he do it? He is looking for a way to post it. Finds a way to get that down. It will get at least one spawn off here. That progress going back in favor of DLB, the defenders. Panzer IV, they'll move around here on the southern side, taking some shots right off the front. We have a double stack light tank defending the heavy tank right on the back side. There you go. Easier to build get a second tank up here for a little bit of armor pressure and help than to possibly build up a barricade or some other things. Definitely faster and more efficient if you don't have supplies readily available. Firefly using.
All right, and with that, we have flipped, so I will give you the invitation to go ahead and watch the rest of that matchup if that's something you're interested in doing. But of course, we are all here for today's matchup, and so let's go ahead and get into that.
No spawns.
All right, here we are. Gotta wait for the arty man here to go ahead and build up his gun, drop a box. So we are gonna be here for just a second while we're waiting for everybody to go ahead and hop into that. Still just waiting on our artillery man here to go ahead and get us into matchup. Based off of what I can see through the little window right now, as far as it goes for the allies here, we're rolling out a medium tank and our little recon blazing fast tank. I always forget the name of it, but the thing is a freaking maniac out around the battlefield. I'm bringing out the light tank. Off the left side, wall drop's going to be happening in 1:20 here, so we'll be getting in here shortly. There it is. All right, just in time for wall drop. All right, so here we go. Supplies already dropping down on Middle Road for the Allies. Got some supplies going in for the Axis up in the north. So Axis rolling out looks like a second Lux tank right off the bat. Yep, so we got 2 Luxes, medium P4, and the good old little Puma. All right. Action going. Don't have any insider information on if there's any snipes that are planning to go. But let's go ahead and take a look and see if that happens. Freddy, he is running on top, ready to go shoot that bazooka. For any of the 1 SPS guys that decide they want to get it on over. Coog and Shock Trooper also coming in. Rockets starting to land, missing to the south. But 1 SPS doing well to get all the way across with a flare being shot up by Stinger. Stinger-ack. Shock Trooper going all the way down and around, but not going to find anything down there. As all of the 1 SPS guys were able to go ahead and bail out of trucks. So strafing runs already coming in here for the Axis, as they're trying to go ahead and gain their foothold here on the southern side here. 1 SPS doing everything they can to go ahead and try to hold this point, because they know that if they get pushed off of it, it's going to be one long day to get themselves back up onto it. Lux going ham here to the south, just laying in some rounds here as Coog and Dextro try to dodge the issues that faces. So we about to see our little recon tank and the Lux come up. Who will win this is already getting hit by a secondary Lux off to the side here. That recon tank's already spinning out, trying to get back behind cover as this Lux closes on in for the kill, nearing halfway, capped up here for the allies. Still moving on around here. He's dipping out, trying to find where he can get around. Looks like he was able to go ahead and find himself some areas to go ahead and hide, but in the madness there, he kind of got himself away from us too, so we weren't able to see him. But this light tank is well on the way to go ahead and try to get that Puma that decided to pop around. Looks like a recon, though, on the other hand, definitely got squared away a little bit there. No longer with us. Still about halfway cap. Pressure coming in for DLB here. Sorry, got a little had a little intern come in real fast, had to ask me some questions. But just like that, 1 SPS going in, getting some cap pressure to put it back in their favor. Coog and Moomin. Coog getting the best of Moomin there. But Coog unfortunately takes one from behind here from Whiskey 07. As he was the farthest man pushed in. Private ramp, though. Next man up, trying to do what he can. Gets up to a hedge. Immediately gets popped, just like Matt Corleone. Matt Corleone. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry. Didn't get that right. But 1 SPS definitely not giving up. Plenty of spawns still coming in as they are holding that road very well, forcing a lot of the DLB guys to come across these open fields and through these cattails and little canals and whatnot inside of the fields. Already hitting very good on point. No doubt the 1 SPS, or sorry, Lieutenant Banana Cheese. No doubt him getting some kills already here off the bat. Danger. It's his first name, but Danger Rush taken out by Artie, unfortunately. Caster Curse coming in full effect there as Damsey also gets taken down. Captain Spears just trying to find a way to get that up into those relative safety of the trenches. Throwing smoke to conceal his position here. Shock Trooper doing what he does best, jumping up as a Shock Trooper, trying to put the pressure on the enemy. But Cheesy says none of that as he eliminates him before he can get to the trenches. More and more Artie coming in, very accurate from both sides here, and right on the front doors, preventing anybody from really trying to get up into the point. There we go. Finally got my little stream deck to go ahead and connect and work appropriately. Keep some action focused here on the map edge here. Now as DLB is able to go ahead and get some warp cap pressure going in their favor, slowly eliminating more and more of the 1 SPS defenders. Slowly gaining some ground as Shock Trooper again makes his way up to the road, forcing more 1 SPS back into their outpost spawn just on the other side. Big spawn here off the southern side. Ramp gets Sweezy, but Grosonski is taken out immediately by Artie. OP as well from the storming light tank that comes on through. So more and more spawns for 1 SPS slowly being taken out here behind the point, leading to DLB getting on top of the road here, now in the safety of the trenches, now forcing 1 SPS to have to get up across the edge of the bank there. Ranchi just trying to hold a corner. Trying to make it seem like nothing's going on just off the road, but Stingerek said, yeah, pay attention to your surroundings a little bit there, unfortunately. Was able to pop him. Nearing 90% of the way capped here. DLB well in hand. There's one SBS just clings on to everything they could to go ahead and get back into this point. And with that initial cap going DLB's favor here on gun emplacements. Gonna go up to 1 extra point there. 3-2 now. DLB leading it out over 1 SBS. Oh, takes a shot right into the side. Appears that medium Panzer IV on the backside there has had enough of that little light tank rolling around in the backside as he goes ahead and eliminates him from the competition. Finding a nice little spot here for that P4 to go ahead and peek on up over. Excellent spot here. Good planning here on this 1 SBS crew here. Captain Addis MG commanding the tank. Great sightline without having to expose themselves up onto the bridge. Now, you'll take everything you can kind of get in this match, on this map, because everything is just so open. So an advantageous spot like that without having to build any barricades or anything like that, by all means, take what you can get. So with all points being along the outer side, the right side of the map, it'll definitely give a good old tug of war. But some things to go ahead and keep an eye out here for is going to be the bridge. So as it currently stands, 1 SBS is in very good control of the bridge and would not doubt to see some type of garrison or something put up maybe on that side to help kind of stem people more and more across down the road into gun emplacements. Because honestly, if you are going to be attacking gun emplacements as the Axis, this is going to be your main avenue of attack and then down the road. Of course, you'll try to get people across the river, but with how slow people go across the river, it's going to be a nightmare to try to make that your frontal assault. And so as we can kind of see, more 1 SBS guys running across that, kind of going at half speed. Bella trying to jump, get a little bit more speed to get across. But the Seba right here, really that with the road, with the water the way it is right here, that's the fastest way to get halfway there. But otherwise, you're going to be waist deep in water. As Hills found his way out here into the middle, Shifty private ramp doing the same. But 1 SBS Adam though was able to get a couple shots, but Hillies appears to be still up around and going, trying to dodge the fire of that P4. So right now, if you're 1 SBS, I like your positioning here on the road, on the railroad track to try to push yourself down. If I'm DLB, that's my next area of concern, is I'm trying to lock up that sector. Working with Commander Dutch, looking to see what they can do to go ahead and get themselves up onto that bridge and really prevent anybody from 1 SBS from going around. So good little recon plane going to come up over the point here for the Dutch. And at this point, they're going to get a lot of good intel from that. A couple different garrisons, the medium tank, and plenty of little red cherries all across that flight path. Getting himself here up on top of the plane here, the down plane. Growinski getting himself some firing positions here, as we can see a little bit from our angle. Don't necessarily have a lot of guys that he can see in front of him, although we can see them. It appears a lot of them are going to be either behind that little ridge, but he does take a look at Joe there. He does get a couple shots. Joe, unfortunately, does not fall over. But more and more DLB members coming across. Lines his sight up on an MG. Misses the first shot. Second shot, though, can he get him? No, unfortunately, Joker is able to go ahead and hide away here. Let's go ahead and zoom out, because I know if somebody's looking over my shoulder, I have a little bit of a hard time doing stuff as well. So, oh, but unfortunately, Artie is going to end up eliminating him. And he'll be back to square one here. But 1 SPS still doing well to go ahead and hold this. Go ahead and take a look and see how the push is going here for DLB to try to weed out these German little invaders here, trying to hold up their side of the bridge. Good rocking from Pan to go ahead and eliminate one. But now they were 15 minutes into the match. We should start seeing some heavy tanks rolling out. There's the Churchill on the southern side. We've got a second P4 that's going to be coming out of middle. Looks like we have a Tiger tank that has spawned up at the top, is not yet being crewed. A good shot takes out Mount. Babadook taking a little bit of break away from his usual shenanigans there. Going for the more centered approach of a battlefield. Looks like might be going to take a nap. Might have been called into work. Hopefully we'll see him again and avoid having to have the terrifying reality that he's out running around in the world. Was somewhat contained for just a little bit of time. But a big rush here from 1SBS, slowly mounting their way back into the push, keeping their hold here on the southern side of the bridge. For a second there, DLB had a good amount of people that were pushing up. I thought they might have been able to get enough to go ahead and kind of eradicate this little push here, but so far 1SBS being very disciplined to go ahead and hold their line, make sure they don't get pushed too far back, as Ice Temple Monkey trying to stay still as a statue down here on the southern, just west of the bridge here, looking right down that road for anybody that might be coming around. Ice Temple Monkey, what do your eyes see from your position here? So we can see a little bit of a good angle there for people down the line. So there we go. Whiskey coming off the OP right in front of Ice Temple Monkey. Ice Temple Monkey unfortunately missing, but Rocket going out might have gotten that OP. It looks like it has. So good Rocket there on the half of the DLB side to go ahead and eliminate that one spawn that they gotten up already here on this side of the river. So another big thing to keep an eye out for are AT guns, and as we pan across the battlefield here, we can see that Shifty has been able to go ahead and get one up. Is that Panzer IV? Yeah, Panzer IV is still available over there on Rhine Banks. Very well could be looking to try to get some type of angle on him as the gun slowly turns. But it looks like he's more interested at the moment for trying to take out any infantry than he might see, because I do not see any direct line, and that P4 is just over there. He could potentially get it through that tree if he were able to get a good mark from his squad lead. Might be able to get a little bit. And the second one's floating back there behind point. About there in the middle of our screen, but nonetheless, here we are. So if I was 1SBS, I'd definitely be working to try to get Garrison up over here. And it appears from that quick flash of the map we have done so. As Captain Spears still has found his way over here, just trying to hide from people sitting in the bushes here. It appears that the information has been given out, as Artie here from Lieutenant Banana Cheese appears to be going to try to get centered here on that garrison here for the 1SBS side. I apologize. It looks like I did not have it set up here for the broadcast to go ahead and start automatically. So that is my fault there for everybody. Sometimes these ad hoc streams, I forget to check a few buttons. All right. 1SPS still holding strong here on the east, on the bridge side. Oh, good. Babadook still in the matchup here. Do not need to worry about him for the time being. Captain Monkey Butt, a distant cousin here of Ice Temple Monkey. Must be a little bit farther distance from each other, where Ice Temple Monkey probably hails from maybe high in the Himalayas. Monkey Butt very well could have been here. Maybe they're referring to the tropical environment that maybe a Monkey Butt lives in, and the kind of the humid environment that he has to deal with every day. Gotta definitely watch out, take care of the butt there. But good to see that they're able to come together in this digital world and play some good old hell let loose with each other. Pan making his way up. Whiskey missing his shots. Pan, though, says, I'm done with that as a Piat strike comes and eliminates him. Now, 1SPS really trying to drive in here, their impact here. But hopefully not at the cost of leaving themselves too exposed here, as only Kubiak and Arzizis down there on the other side of the bridge. Red Nox and Pixa have made their way down, leaving the door open for Pan, and Babadook to go ahead and try to get themselves down the line. This might be a little bit of an interesting push here for DLB. If they're able to go ahead and get that, they could end up kind of sectioning off the attacking 1SPS players there. So as of right now, their advantage might be in jeopardy here, as DLB appears to be moving on up. One of the dangers of trying to get that onto the other side of that bridge. Get so excited that sometimes you forget to go ahead and make sure you secure and hold the ground that you've already been given. Just like that, it looks like DLB going to be well in charge of the bridge section here, as Moomin does come off the OP, the only OP here on the southern side. But all that ground already getting lost here, as DLB now finds themselves pushing all the way down that railroad. With ZDZ just trying to hold down the fort here on the far side. DLB also making progress here on the eastern side of the map, as Private Ramp and Pablo appear to be going after each other. Pablo disappears, meaning that he must have ended up finding the wrong end of some little hot lead that got blown through there. But right now, Little Island now firmly in control here of DLB. And so we can see DLB doing very well to go ahead and get themselves up into the point. And are slowly just driving out 1SPS as what DLB continues to move across the way. This outpost that we were talking about down here, E Squad, has now been eliminated, with E Squad trying to fight for their lives. Let's see if we can get over there before something happens here, as Desmi... Dizim Jamai. I'm not even able to say that, so I apologize. But here's some screen time to try to compensate for it. E Squad, though, was eliminated, so that OP not going to be up and available for them. Zeta is all the way back there, but he is gonna be able to spawn a few guys in. So at least we have one OP here for the 1SPS side to go ahead and continue flooding bodies in. Gonna be looking to try to get some type of garrison up, I'd imagine. For the time being, closest garrison gonna be right around here. We could see it right down there in the canal. The 1SPS attackers gonna be able to notice where that is. It's not currently hot at the moment. Is Zetka. There we go. Spawn off the garrison, Malarkey and Monkey Butt. Player going up for Malarkey, gonna go ahead and expose himself greatly So it looks like 1SPS doing very well to go ahead and mount some type of counter-offensive here, just trying to prevent people from getting across the bridge, as they have now put a large number of their spawn points here and forces on the bridge to try to recapture that ground that they had lost. Siva taking the wet route as the rest of his buddies go across the main portion of the bridge. A little more deadly, not as wet, but more deadly nonetheless. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us here on the Falcon Studios broadcast. Again, my name is Night Falcon here, bringing you this action here between DLB and 1SPS. Happy to have for 1SPS their first time here on the Falcon cast. Just would invite any of you guys, if you see fit, if you're liking what you're seeing, help us out against the YouTube overlords and help us out fighting against that algorithm. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share them with your friends. We all know how much we love this competitive Hell Let Loose sphere. So do what you can, share with a friend, bring them into the fold. As always, we're happy to have you as members of the nest here, watching from our broadcast booth, high above as we go for the bird's eye view. We are on our road to try to get up to 500 subscribers, and we're very, very, very close. So unfortunately, I don't have any type of award or thing I can give out to my 500th subscriber, but if you are, you can run with the knowledge knowing that you were. Currently sitting 495. So for the 7 of you guys that are watching, hope you're having a good time. Invite you to go ahead and comment, subscribe. It goes a long way in helping us out here as we continue to try to bring this Hell Let Loose community to everybody to enjoy. Go ahead and get some action shots here. We'll take some of this noise away here. Just try to enjoy the serene look of Hell Let Loose that these players are getting right here. Now, for those of you not experienced with Hell Let Loose, if you somehow managed to find your way across my stream here, welcome. Congratulations. We love having you here. Hell Let Loose is definitely a lot different than what you would get. As a great shot takes out Cheesy. Hilly's finding his way up on top. Getting good little angle there. Good lesson for all of you at home. Do what you can to maximize your chances in any of those gunfights. You can give yourself a 60-40 advantage somehow in that gunfight. That's going to go a long way in helping you improve that KPM, that KD ratio, whatever you prefer, you like to do, whatever you want to try to attack. KPM, definitely the bigger statistic here. Just kills per minute. We don't care how often you die, just as long as you're doing what you need to be doing. But as I was saying here, happy to have you guys here as part of the Hell Let Loose community, growing every day as we eagerly anticipate the next chapter here in our Hell Let Loose world of Hell Let Loose Vietnam. But this one will always hold a nice soft place in my heart here. Good old Hell Let Loose World War II, the OG as they say. As Siba and the rest of the crew are slowly pushing their way through, Monkey Butt mounts up but finds himself on the raw end of a bullet. Ice Temple Monkey seeing his cousin go down. Nope, didn't see it. But Ice Temple Monkey perched up well underneath to go ahead and prevent anybody from coming across that bridge. Does not quite know about the bad guys, the little red cherries up above his head. So War Daddy NL, Ice Temple Monkey, DLB choosing to go the low road here, as now we have a counterattack here coming in for the DLB attack, or the DLB defenders, trying to move out and get Siva and Bijmai out of here. We do have a little transport truck that's decided to make its way across the way. Ice Temple Monkey, though, getting some shots off into him with the help of that MG, just trying to go and narrowly misses the rocket aimed right at him as Driel tries to get some type of foothold up here for the 1SPS attackers. Let's go ahead and pan over now, see what things are looking like on the eastern side. Doesn't look like, it looks like we have some attacks and things going on the far west. But for now, the majority of our action centered over here on the bridge and the eastern side. Well, Higer able to eliminate a good number of people just trying to get their way across that canal. Again, I tell you, just how difficult it is to go ahead and get yourself across. It is super slow, making it very difficult to try to get anybody there from this angle. So no doubt that's the reasoning why 1SBS is focusing so many forces on the middle bridge. This is a long meat grind here trying to get across this river. Poor Daddy, making his way, trying to peek around here. Pablo, though, sees him, pops him a few times. Flare going up here, though, for the Allies. It's a good look at the major section of defenders here on the northern side of the bridge. Ice Temple Monkey, who previously was holding down his location on the bridge, appears to have been able to branch off a little bit, trying to get some additional pressure on the northern side of the bridge, cut off, section off those guys that were trying to get across the bridge. As he is taking shots from his front side here, Rafiz laying a good amount into him. Grozensky. Again, no ill intent meant when I totally mispronounce your name. Not intended at all. I just suck at trying to pronounce names. Here's that we had a Churchill move their way all the way up here to the eastern side, now protecting this garrison. Any armor on the opposite side? No, not at this time. As it appears that heavy that was up there no longer is present. Still, a good number of DLB guys trying to push over onto the bridge, but 1SPS continuing just to overpower them. So who will win their race first? DLB making good progress here over the canal side, as they have now eliminated the majority of the 1SBS guys holding across the line of the bridge. Pablo using the bush as cover. OP is eliminated as Lantern Paul moves on up. But Pablo's still going to be in that bridge, or in that bush, might be able to try to get that OP right back up. So we do start to see some cap progress coming in now on Ryan Banks. This is no doubt going to force a few of these DLB guys to get out over, give them a little bit of courage to get up over the top of this ridge. Just as we were kind of seeing this push on the bridge slowly getting decapitated here through the help of Pan, Ice Temple Monkey, Hoog, Dextro, and Deep Easy, as they've made their way to the bridge and have completely sectioned it off. Now, J Squad and E Squad do appear. They still have some spawns down there, I spawns, but that is going to be difficult to try to get the entire team off of what essentially would be 18 positions with the officers included. But it can be done. Airhead coming on in here for DLB. Company with the bombing run. Classic combination here. Will 1SBS be resilient enough to be able to dodge this bombing run coming in to try to protect this airhead? Bombing run inbound. Bruzio Robinson able to go ahead and dodge it, luckily guessing the direction that that airhead was coming down, and the bombing run with its coming in as well. Bombing run, corresponding bombing run for the Axis going across the main portion of the hard cap. Does not appear that anything will be there though for them to really get. Maybe a stray blueberry or whatnot. But unfortunately not much doing for that. Outside of helping the 1SBS guys here on the bridge try to make some pressure here. Now, pressure coming in first, so if there is a cap race, DLB being in the lead here at the moment as 1SBS begins to defend on the backside with all progress now being eliminated. Sweezy finding his way up, like so many of his countrymen, into the bush. Lots of bad guys all around, but not wanting to move a muscle. Sweezy ends up taking a shot, reloading. Angling up on Damsey, able to take out Damsey, still hiding in his bush, unknown to the defenders of the English side. Even with a Churchill staring him right in the face, Churchill does not know where he is. And using his super secret Polish spec ops here to make sure that he stays well hidden now. Progress now initially going to 1 SBS here on gun emplacements. As a spawn comes off of this front side OP. Swizy 96 leaves the relative safety of his little bush and gets mowed down, unfortunately. Now all cap progress being returned back in favor of the Allies. But now back over here on Rhine Banks. Pan, Captain Spears doing what they can to go ahead and secure this middle portion of the hard cap. 1 SBS Tarney, though, throwing shots over at Pan. Who will win? As more and more shots coming in. Tito, 1 SBS Tito, holding that western side. As Pan moves up to this shed, Tarney moving. Also trying to make some room, trying to make something happen here on his feet. Give his boys a little bit of life here on the defensive side as they are defending for the time being. Tarney and Pan on a collision course here. Pan gets the first shot and takes out Tarney, while as well placing a satchel here right in the middle of the point, unbeknownst to Tino, who, unless something changes, will become the first victim, I believe, of a satchel in this matchup here. So to those about to die, as they would say in the ancient Roman Empire, we salute you. And Tarney unfortunately comes in at a bad time. Gonna be able to... Oh, Tarney, the only person eliminated from that. I don't know how Tito was able to go ahead and survive. He must have just been right on the outside of that radius here for that satchel. But that is going to allow Captain Spears now to go ahead and move on in, as no other spawns, with the exception of E Squad spawn here just off to the east side of the hard cap, is going to allow people to go ahead and spawn in. All garrisons now for 1 SPS currently hold all the way back. Even a front side friendly garrison here for DLB has gone up, protected by the help of that Churchill. So DLB doing very well to own their sector control and just drive 1 SPS out of the environment here. Three-fourths of the way capped here. DLB appears to be well on the way to go ahead and get this set up here. So already DLB coming out on top here as we round 50 minutes left in this matchup here between them and 1 SPS. Friendly brought to you here on Falcon Studios. At the end of the day, we are here to serve you, our community, and we appreciate you guys for taking the moment to tune in with us, whether it be a Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, Monday morning for some of you guys potentially. Appreciate you guys all joining us as we look to have more and more fun here in the Hello Loose competitive sphere. All right, with that 4-1 lead now to DLB, the Dutch Lions Brigade here over 1 SPS as Pan moves on up, trying to get something onto this medium. Will he be able to get a satchel? Pan trying to find the best spot to throw this sucker down. Fortunately for him, oh, luckily for him, was able to put it on the back fender here. And Bonmir and Franz are gonna be in trouble here if they do not get that 30-second timer already halfway down here. They do not know, and unbeknownst to them, they are going right on back. We'll probably getting close with Rafis here. Will Rafis end up going down to this satchel? No, he might be just outside, and he does. So a kill for the tank and a kill off the Impy there. That is just unfortunate. Bad timing there as the satchel for Pan goes off. Pan already streaking down the right side map edge. Unfortunately going to fall victim to some shots, but a good life nonetheless for Mr. Pan here as he's been able to get on up. Eliminate that P4, giving the huge armor advantage at the moment to the DLB attackers. As we can see, they keep on rolling out some of these lighter tanks, these mediums, You can see another one coming right out as well. 1SPS needs to start rolling out some of their more heavy pieces here to try to combat some of these Churchills, or these Churchills are just gonna keep on running their game here. Ruzio, though, looking to return the favor, able to get the satchel onto the tank here. So far, unbeknownst to Forbidden Ravon, Shine, Forbidden Ravon knows something happens, looking around. Will he be able to find it? He sees it, but not before the defender here from 1SPS Robeson is able to go ahead and find it. Shine jumps out as well. Crew is all out of the tank. Dijmai able to eliminate everybody there. Everybody gonna go up in smoke, but not save that Churchill, unfortunately. Just like that, Impy coming in big to try to help with the infantry pushes here, to try to help balance out the scales of the armor disadvantage that they currently were at. Still, no heavy tank being spawned out. Plenty of fuel here for the Axis. Could have just dropped one in. No, does not look like it, as we did see a good amount of fuel drop there for just a moment. I do not see a heavy tank that has been spawned in. Recon plane coming up over the top here. Gonna give DLB a good look at the northern portion of that boundary line. See exactly where everybody is. 1SPS having to fight through a lot of open fields here at the moment, as Adam gets taken out by a Churchill round. Sergeant Popeye running around trying to find more and more angles. Ruzio, though, moving on up. Does he see those supplies coming in, though? That is the question. Does not look like he is aware for it at the moment. But Popeye and Ruzio appear to be running up against each other as Sergeant Popeye dodges a few bullets from Ruzio. Turns around, pops Ruzio. Unfortunate for him, as he has got a few shots. Honestly, that's one of my least favorite things here. You know, just turn around, get a few shots off on somebody, and then turn around and beam you. How unlucky. We've all been on the receiving end of that, and I'm sure we've all been on the giving end of that. But it sure is more memorable when we're on the receiving side. Adam coming up behind Popeye. Says, go back for some more spinach there, Mr. Popeye. For those of you that aren't familiar, Popeye the Sailor Man loved his spinach. Often gave him a super strength for him to go ahead and complete whatever task he was looking to try to complete at the time. Still to this day, the only reason why anybody in the millennial generation probably has any spinach, outside of wanting to watch their figure and count calories, as we get a little bit older in age, metabolisms don't run as well. For all you young bucks out there, remember, someday it will catch up. You have to manage that weight a little bit more. Part of the human experience. But hey, then you also get the joy and the reward of losing the weight. So, you do you. You have fun with yourself. Yeah, gain the advantage of losing the weight if you never have it. So, might as well have fun going both ways. Hilly's able to dodge a few more rounds here as Robeson looks to try to hold that map edge. Hilly's trying to poke through the bush. Does he see Robeson? He does. Getting shots on Robeson here. Down, taken out. Now, we've spent a good amount of time here on the map edge. Let's go ahead and see how things are progressing along the western side here and how that bridge hold is currently going, as more and more DLB guys appear to be moving across it. Now, one of the interesting dynamics of the bridge here is that it does extend for so long that you do find yourself in situations like this, like Deep Easy here, where he believes that he's safe all the way up there, but unbeknownst to him, he's got four little cherries flying up underneath the bridge here. So safe, but so close to danger as well. 1SPS looking to go the wide route here and try to do what they can to get around and kind of section off these DLB defenders. Pan, who of earlier Satchel fame, has now made his way over here to the bridge. As Griff and Pan look to face off, Pan unaware that he is there, and Griff is going to eliminate Pan before he can do any more damage with Satchel plays here. Coog, hearing the shot, moving up on Griff, using the advantage of the cover here, but Dextro able to take him out before Coog is going to be able to go ahead and get an angle on him. Another reason for the advantage of crossfire. The wider you get, the more wrap you can get, and the more crossfire you can get. Crossfire is deadly here in the Hell Let Loose community. In the competitive world here. So if you can get that advantage, by all means, use that as far as you can. Terkloki finding his way up here onto the crane. One of my favorite spots to be here on this map. Just simply from the wonderful perspectives you get on everything. I personally like to mount up MGs here on the log piles, just firing out to the western and the eastern sides of the map. Give you plenty of good direction and firing positions here as you look to try to help control these points. Ice Temple Monkey, though, doing that as well as he's got himself up here on the bridge. Good old still frame here for you. Go ahead and click that button right there, screenshot right there. Show all your friends how cool it is here to play a competitive Hell Let Loose. But I know we're all excited, all happy about competitive Hell Let Loose. But man, if I go and I talk to people about playing a competitive video game, you should see some of the fun, interesting looks we get. But at the end of the day, I describe it, and man, I tell you, if they had the ability to jump on in, they would be doing so in a heartbeat. Not very many other places you can get these 50 to 50 matchups. It's such a fun World War II Hell Let Loose environment. Babadook and Pablo. Pablo getting shots on Babadook. Kareem with the scoped rifle doing what he can. It's cheesy. Takes a few shots. Looks like he was going for Noonie. Kareem getting a shot as well. Rocket from Noonie landing well short of Cheesy. Both sides not wanting to move an inch. But it follows up with a great shot by Noonie here. Go ahead and eliminate him. Some little short on the first, great on the second there. That's why you have 3 rockets, boys and girls. Hopefully one of them lands true. Pablo and Musk moving their way on up, with Kareem and Noonie still holding their angles. As it stands, DLB doing very well still. Just got to eliminate some of this little incursion that's kind of come around this area that we're watching. But still relatively good here on the map edge. Looks like they're slowly missing it out, though. As a flare does come up. Let's go ahead and take a look over here and see what action might be going on with this Churchill as Bella moves on up, taking out Balbahager. The big spawn in now for the 1 SBS side on this eastern side. Can they get a garrison up to really cement their hold here? Unfortunately, it is going to be a little bit off the line if they do. Could only look to put it just about as far as, you know, right here. But at the end of the day, it's something better than nothing. If you lose this OP, you lose it. Popeye back from his refreshment break, looking to go ahead and try to help out with this Churchill, as unfortunately he is eliminated. Try to find some of these gunfights right here. Musk and Babadook going at it, both of them getting each other, unfortunately. Driel, the map of trades, I swear. As it looks like the Americans have now taken a 2-0 lead over the Germans. 16 minutes remaining here in the second period. Now, for those of you guys watching the broadcast, of course, you'll get that here in 30 minutes. But nonetheless, try to give you as many updates as possible. So 1 SBS, Pablo. To your comment there, I know they are a Polish team, so Eastern European team. I had the chance to play against them a few times on my team, which is the 22nd. Played them first in Summit, and I believe we also played a friendly. I think 2 times is all we've played. We were able to go ahead and take that win in Summit on artillery battery, I believe was the middle point, Omaha. But it was a good 90-minute match, and you guys came back and sure gave it a good fight at the end. I think I lagged out and couldn't play the last 20 minutes. It wouldn't let me be back in the server, unfortunately. So that was fun. But still fun, no matter what. So DLB slowly making more and more progress up the line here. Moving. Getting shots off on private ramp. Private ramp able to dodge them so far, but not going to be able to dodge the whole clip. A man coming in from behind there. Says, nope, Darth Invader says, I am going to end that. So it looks like 1SPS has gotten a good amount of people around here on this western side. They are stretching pretty well up and down from that north to the south part of the enemy territory. No garrison up yet for them, but they are starting to mount some pushes. King Panther is eliminated. Whiskey or Desmi. Terkloka also eliminated, as more and more 1SPS bodies are making their way here to the bridge. So no garrison currently up, and right now Whiskey is on top of the only garrison spawns in. Oh, but right there, unfortunately, Mount Corleone able to take them out, leaving Dejma and Zidzis. Can Zidzis? Can he come over and get it, or will Forbidden Ravon hold off that garrison push? Keep it open a little bit longer. Terklokia also coming. Coog trying to come up the backside. And in no time, we should be seeing a spawn here for the DLB side. Yep, there it is right there. King Panther and Mount Corleone both coming off. Zidzis just trying to hold off as long as he can, but unfortunately falling to Coog. Taking that pressure off is Whiskey and Dejmi are back. Garrison has been reestablished from a supply drop that we saw coming down just a few seconds ago here for the DLB side, and they continue to push their way up. Vermek finds a nice little place of cover here, just continuing to hide and hold his ground for what he can do. These bushes are all so advantageous. Go ahead and hide in. One thing to note, Hella Loose is definitely a game about pacing. You don't want to be running around like you would be in Call of Duty or something like that. Just the time to kill just being too fast, as War Daddy is trying to search out for Mech. Will he be able to find him? Potentially a little game of Marco Polo going on between the two of those guys. Can you imagine what that conversation would be like in proxy chat if they were allowed to talk to each other? Can you imagine the things that get said in this? Whew, boy. You thought COD was bad. Well, I'll give it this way. COD has a more diverse community, we'll put it that way, with plenty of strong opinions. One of the things that's led me to just stay with Hella Loose is, yeah, we've got our toxicity as well, but at the end of the day, if you are a friendly person, you like to come out, have a mic, chat with people, make a lot of good friends if you never see them more than just the hour and a half you end up playing with them. So as it stands, DLB now owning pretty much the entire side of the map edge, as a tank gun has been set up down here, but currently that Churchill still alive. Who will get it first? Who will get the first hit? Churchill only needs one shot to take it. But right now we can see it is hidden behind the back side of that hedge. So Churchill cannot see it. They might be able to launch shells through it though. If they could get pings on the front side of this Churchill, it would leave that Churchill in a very interesting situation because they could not really see them to fire back. But it doesn't look like Schmidt is currently looking that direction. Robinson knows that it is there, having seen it just a little bit ago. Not quite sure who took him out there, if it was friendly or what it was, but man, I'd be livid if a teammate shot me from that side, because that looks like the only place that that shot could have came from. But hey, at the end of the day, I love being wrong in that way, so I'm hoping that no friendly shots were there. If not, you have now been exposed on the cast here, and will no doubt receive a good ribbing from your brethren in your clan here. As there is now video evidence of it. DLB making a lot of progress here on the western side. Popeye, Bollinger, all pushing up. War Daddy now the front man of the tip of the spear here. Oh no, but Bella fires out with his MG. War Daddy dodging shots left and right, but taken out by Fred on the far side. More and more DLB attackers coming down the line here. Everybody's so closely concentrated here on the road. Looks like that Churchill has now found a spot. Shot originally going off from Robinson, going far over the top of that. Robinson appears to have got a shot trying to get out of the gun. Malarkey being the one most likely to nail him and put him down. Rocket from Hillies landing just a little bit short. We'll stay here, see if he can land that second shot. Nope, he's fine-tuning it though. Will the third shot land? Sometimes that Piat is a little bit interesting to go ahead and try to get down. Nope, might not have a third shot in him at the moment. The garrison along the bridge for DLB no longer with us, leaving the door for more and more 1SPS guys to continue making their way down across the way. Looks like Airhead has gone up, but plenty of DLB guys here in the backside to try to go ahead and get an eye on that. Airhead spawning right in the middle of the smoke, taken out by multiple different angles here as tanks both fire in on that. Leaving Reacher and I Am Noonie kind of staring at the scraps left. Probably a little disheartened at the tanks for turning around and eliminating their prize. But at the end of the day, this is a team game, and it is what it is. So 31 minutes left in this matchup, and we start to see some cap progress coming in already for DLB here on the backside, but immediately snuffed out. As we get into the final 30 minutes of this match, something I always do to remind myself, hopefully it's beneficial to you guys at home as well, but make sure that you are out there drinking, staying hydrated. Nothing worse than being dehydrated on the battlefield. So wherever you are, as we hit this 30 minutes, I invite you to take a big old drink of whatever you have in there by you to stay hydrated. This is in no way sponsored by Big Water. However, I'm always willing to have a conversation with Big Water if they want to come talk. Maybe I should get on a protein drink. That seems to be a pretty big fad these days. Or how about this, a pre-workout? There we go. What would we call our pre-workout here on the Falcon Cast? I know Smithers could call us pre-workout Baba Badooey. That would probably be really cool. I'd probably buy a can of that just for fun. Can you imagine the sales on Baba Badooey? Maybe you can add that to your merch store, Smithers. but for the Falcon Studios. Up in smoke. No, that doesn't work really well. Anyway, I'll brainstorm. We'll workshop it. We'll try to come back to it next week. Movement falling victim to the DLB attackers here as they slowly continue to push up the hedge. Hi, my name is Fred. Fred taking out Monkey Butt. Hip firing the MG. Darth Invader, will he be able to dodge the bullets long enough to get a steady shot? Fred need to most likely reload, jumps across the fence. Darth Invader, I do not believe he saw him jump across. Darth Invader falls victim to Fred and Moomin. So supplies landing map edge on the far side. Any other developments? Oh, here we go. Big development. Looks like one SBS has been able to get around them and get a garrison up. And because of the river, they are going to be well under 100 meters in getting out of there. But just like that, it looks like both tanks that took out the airhead also turned around and immediately have taken out that spawn point here. Where is said bombing run? Bombing run going up over the point as well. Doesn't look like there is any spawn at the moment there. Could have already been taken out though, as we missed the very first portion of that. All right, so looking at our poll now, no doubt, was not going to be a surprise to me here, as the skating sports appear to be majorly popular here for the Dutch side. When I was living in the Netherlands around 2010, 2012 timeframe, there was one time where it got really close to them being able to do like their major winter kind of speed skating, cross-country speed skating event. It was about 2 to 3 weeks, got really cold. All the canals froze over. I remember I was living in Leiden at the time. We were able to go out and walk around the canals a little bit. That was kind of fun. But never got to the point of being able to actually see that competition go off. So skating is very much in the blood of the Dutch. And so not a surprise to me that that looks to be on the popular side here for our poll today. I tell you though, I'm out here in the Rocky Mountains, and so we've got a lot of stuff that happens on over here. Snowboarding, skiing, definitely popular ones. But I must say, I think one of my most recent favorite finds over the course of the last few Olympics, for the Winter Olympics, has been snowboard cross. Personally, I think that's one of the funner ones to watch. Just 4 people down a course and bump and around and hit each other. Not that you really are punching each other, but anyway, you get to make a little bit of progress down that. And it's just a fun, action-packed race as they race from the top of the hill down. None of this time stuff. It's just a matter of the person that gets across the line first wins, kind of thing. But it looks like after that development, DLB has been pushed back just a little bit. Maybe had to suck a few bodies back to try to take care of whatever was going on behind them with that garrison. Diesma right on top of the garrison. Will he be able to get it? Right now, yes, it appears that he will be able to do so. So garrison right now for the DLB defenders is going to be going, but right behind him, little does he know that an OP spawn did come in. Danger Rush NL and Lantern Bow, both coming up. Danger going to be the one getting that kill. So right now, 1SPS mounting a good push, knocking on the front door here of Ryan Banks. Cheesy. leading the charge on in here as Mac and Grow all trying to back him up here a little bit. More and more DLB defenders forced to come on in. Try to eliminate this small little incursion here into their land. Joker falling victim. Popeye using his smoke to his advantage. Just playing some parlor tricks over here. Tarney does not quite see him. Popeye is able to get another kill off. With the little help of Ballhire, maybe, was able to go ahead and get a good amount of damage there. But Popeye ends up going out in a heroic fashion with the satchel blowing off right off his front side. For any of you guys out there watching, we do invite you to go ahead and like, subscribe, please share the stream. Help us grow the channel as we continue to try to bring this Hell Let Loose content to you guys. Bella trying to get down, but Hilly's mows him down. But just in turn, Hilly's eliminated as well. Big amount of 1 SPS guys coming right down the map edge, and now the defenders have been eliminated. Hilly's coming off the 1 OP that's still over here. Ruzio and Hilly's. Plenty of victims for Hilly's to go ahead and try to take a look at. Ruzio looks to get across the road, falling victim to an explosion there. Was not sure if it was a mine or a grenade or what it might have been there. But now Popeye back in the battle as well. So they're doing well to hold their side as long as they can. We do look like we've had a little Puma make its way all the way across. Gonna look to try to cause some damage here as our camera decides to tilt and pan a little bit here. Oh, we are in trouble here as this Puma also in trouble. Center this back out here for us. Come on. All right. Nope, we're still doing that. All right, we'll get back into the fight here momentarily. There we go. We are back. A little off center. We'll fix it right here. All right. There we go. And all was right with the world. Sorry about that. A little bit of difficulty there. But 1 SPS making some good streaking down this western little canal here in front of the bridge. As they move more and more bodies up. No other spawns. It looks like a very good garrison network, though, coming here for the Allies. With the help of this little half-track to help really control the major inlet points of this area. So, as it stands, they should be able to go ahead and continue holding that area as that Puma finally falls victim to that P4 that just kept shooting at it over there by Commander Dutch. We can see the little blue glow outline of it. 20 minutes remaining. 4-1 lead here for DLB. Facing off against 1 SPS. As this final push has proved to be a much harder push than what it seemed like the first one to Ryan Banks was. Seekta dodging cannon fire here from the tank in front of him, that medium tank. But slowly using the edge of the road to his advantage, they're able to go ahead and continue along the way here. Whiskey 07 also trying to do what he can to dodge that machine gun fire. As it stands, a lot of the DLB guys continue to get pushed back with a small little isolated pocket here of Private Ramp and Shock Trooper, no doubt coming off of an OP here in the area. Yep, right there in the brush. Flare up going over point. Appears to be an Axis flare, as we are not going to be able to see that exactly. But so far, it looks like we are getting a good amount of push here from this western side. Let's get back up here into our drawing tool. So looks like right here, DLB making a lot of good progress and almost to the middle HQ. If they can get there and kind of essentially lock that out as a spawn, it's going to end up making it very, very difficult for 1SPS to continue trying to push down that way and spawn anything in, which means once initial cap pressure starts coming in here for DLB and locking out, they'll be able to lock out essentially 2 of those main HQs, making it really difficult for DLB to go ahead and continue, or sorry, not DLB, but 1SPS to continue spawning people in. Got P4 coming all the way out and around as a bombing run appears to be coming in. Airhead already getting locked onto by DLB here on the backside. Bombing run combination going in over the top. Appears to be just a bit a little off-timed, unfortunately. Sergeant Popeye going to be there in opening arms to go ahead and receive that airhead. With very little to contest with as he's nice and safe behind that ridge. Sergeant Popeye making it very easy. Good work on the defensive side here for DLB to get themselves up and going here into the point. Also, not something you're used to seeing every once in a while. Looks like we did have an ammo station that was looking to be built up here. Churchill appears to be well in hand here of trying to hold off the line. They are getting to the point of potentially running out of ammo. So, let it be known, putting up some of these ammo stations can be very beneficial here for your armor crews as it slowly ticks away, bringing in a maximum of 20 shells here. But that bombing run for 1SPS proved to be very, very beneficial here as they have launched a major counterattack here, nearing 50% of the way capped here onto Rhine Banks as a bombing run here for the Allies appears to be coming in. At initial glance, no spawns that it will take, and as of right now, only 1, maybe 2 blueberries or little red cherries in the way. Will Zitzis be able to get out of the way? No, he will not. But now comes the response of the DLB defenders to try to get themselves back up into the point as cap progress is being defended for the time being. P4 trying to make its way back to provide a little bit more armor support here on the middle of hardcap. But all of the DLB side appears to be sucking in. This is a small little danger here that appears that a lot of guys are currently forced to come back into the point even when they were already on the defensive side. So not quite sure how much that reaction was done before, but one thing also to note is it looks like officers have kept their OPs up. That is a very important thing to note because that means that spawns will be able to go back to those areas once the point becomes reestablished, and that they're not freaking out and getting things pulled down and just essentially collapsing their own line. It's the last thing you want to do after you work so hard to go ahead and build it up here over the course of the last hour and 15 minutes. But the incursion that we saw up here in the north from 1 SPS appears to have been eliminated. They're not trying to get back in there. We do have a potential little issue going here for Monkey Butt and this tank over here. And again, I've got myself into the... Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, medium tank here for the Allies is going to go ahead and go down. Monkey Button unable to go ahead and protect it for too long. As that P4, again, another P4. Plenty of fuel here for the Axis. Again, surprised that they're not burning through that as quickly as they could. Getting heavies up. Unless those heavies are getting killed as soon as they spawn in, which could always be a possibility. Would not doubt seeing... Nope. Are they going to roll out another medium tank out there? It looks like it. Are they getting into Lux? Nope, they respawned. They redeployed. Alright. So 1 SBS. Looks like their push now has been eliminated. A squad falling down in the middle of the point there. Not going to be long for the world here. As no OP currently stands, and it looks like the rest of them are slowly getting weeded out. Looks like medium tank for the Axis. That P4 that we were just talking about has also been eliminated. Shifty might have gotten something onto him. Or most likely this Tiger tank or this Churchill on the southern side of the bridge might have gotten it. So good shooting here by that tank crew to go ahead and get that advantage. But will they? No, we're rolling out a recon tank. It's almost like they're allergic to the Tiger tanks. I'm not sure if there was a some type of agreement between the teams to not run out heavy tanks, but at the end of the day, so far, I have not seen a Tiger on the field or the Axis forces. Okay, I'm just trying to center this. I got to stop pushing in my left joystick. That's what's doing it. Must have been playing a little bit too much over the weekend because I want to keep shifting in and keep wanting to sprint around the area. But that is not how it's done here in the admin cam. Man, I can't. It's just one of those things, I guess. Just feels like it's off. Yep, another medium spawned in. Lux spawned in. It's just something I'm not used to seeing in the competitive sphere, which leads me to believe that maybe some type of agreement was made that no heavy Axis tanks would be brought out on the field, which is surprising with how many Churchills we've been seeing. You think maybe it would, they wanted to focus on infantry battles, maybe they'd be limiting the Churchills, but alas, we're just here broadcasting it for the time being. Robinson moving on back. Were they able to go ahead and get their OP up? Looks like Curly fiddling around the watch, able to go ahead and get that up to their advantage. Rockets coming in there as Ballhire and Hilly's, Darth Invader, Kareem, and Popeye all come off of a near side OP. Robeson moving on to Kareem. Rocket from Adam moving very close through, narrowly missing a few of the attacking DLB members' heads. Robeson able to go ahead and take it out, the guy down the road. Kareem, though, disadvantaged with the scoped rifle. Gets taken out, but not before grenade round takes out the 1 SBS player, Adam. Or no, Adam's right up there. With that, it appears it's now 3-0. US leading Germany. Almost going to be, almost 4-0. As Hilly's falls victim to the mass of 1 SBS attackers there. So with 9 minutes, 36 seconds left, keep in mind it does take 2 minutes to capture points here. So they will, in order for 1 SBS to win this matchup, we need to see cap progress started on this point before the 4-minute mark starts. and then immediately turn around and have pressure on gun emplacements. So within 5 minutes here, 5 minutes to seal victory out here for the Allies. 1 SBS continues to mount aggressive pushes here, trying to get in, make this at least a 3-2. Nooney and Dextro trying to hold off on Driel and Musk. Good rocket from Nooney, eliminating him at. That's a great rocket. Great PH strike there. Babadook coming in, Nooney falling victim. As more and more 1 SBS attackers are moving their way up here onto the point. So now would be a good opportunity if you had that airhead available from the 1 SBS side. Your guys have made a lot of progress here onto the front door. If you could just get a spawn here for your entire crew to be able to come in. It is an enemy territory, so you wouldn't be able to do a garrison. But if you were able to go ahead and do what I like to call a reinforcing airhead, even popping it down there in that trench or something right there, could end up giving you a good amount of effort and push to get up on top of that point. So just a little bit of insight from somebody that plays commander occasionally would be a good little thing to potentially use in a situation like this where you're needing to get advantages and get up on the point. You got plenty of munitions, plenty of manpower, definitely enough fuel. Yeah, you could definitely convert a lot over here. Will this tank be taken out? That is the question. If they can eliminate this Churchill, that would be huge to try to help them push up onto the point here. MacJan getting a little bit lucky here. Does he have a satchel on? Yes, he does have a satchel as Khalifa jumps out. Doesn't want to take that load, but does take that load right to the face. Probably thought they were going to get away with not having to deal with that today, but unbeknownst to them, there you go. Looks like 1 SBS had other plans. There you go. Here's the airhead coming on in. That reinforcing airhead, just as I was mentioning earlier. Now you've got guys to go ahead and defend it coming in. We can see it landing right there, right by Dijma. Oh, but unfortunately for them, it looks like that Churchill is also pushed up. Good smokes being laid out here. They need to get some spawns off of here. OP is now eliminated. POP is going to be the closest. POP going to be spawning right over around here. Need to get some bodies, but right now Ruzio is the only one coming off of that. As the airhead is going to land, but it is going to be exposed here. Rocket coming in. Great rocket from War Daddy, making it look textbook on how you go ahead and get that airhead out of there. So War Daddy, well done. Highlight of the match, I must say, so far right now, with a rocket shot from downtown. There we have it. P-Squad's OP does spawn in. Unfortunately for them, it looks like it's now going to be eliminated. And P-Squad is now dead, unfortunately, as Rafis down there on the southern side. Bombing run coming in as well to try to support. But unfortunately, that push no longer viable as the 1 SBS OPs have been eliminated. So we do look like we have an airhead coming in now for the British with 5 minutes remaining. No doubt we'll be seeing a bombing run accompanying it. Let's see if we can find out where this airhead is going to be landing. Like a little bit behind us here. There it is, right there. Find the faint little outline of that airhead coming on into the point. Bombing run being triggered in. It is close. Could possibly get this garrison up here. As they see it starting to come on down. Brian, though, unaware of what might be coming in here. Will he be able to dodge the bombing run as it comes in? That airhead cannot be destroyed until it hits the ground. But Brian running right past it, unfortunately. Brian gonna end up being victim of that bombing run. Will he get the garrison? It does get the garrison, so here we go. We are all in business here. DLB, wide open net here. Will they be able to take advantage of it? Cheesy moving on back fast. Lost Ravi. First wave is going to be essential here off of this airhead. Will they be able to get in and get this defended here? It is warm, but it is open. Will they get a spawn? Grenades going off. Spawn wave, big spawn wave is broken. Oh, Krug. Oh, yeah, Shifty able to get up. Mount Colin. Oh, but unfortunately, everybody else has been eliminated as Mac from the backside, able to go ahead and eliminate him. That is going to take away that airhead, as J Squad is the only person up right in the middle of the point. A no spawn up currently for 1 SPS here in their hard cap. They're going to need to get that back up quickly, as we now have 3 minutes 44 seconds left in this matchup here. So it's too late. We know that DLB is going to end up being on the leading side of this and win this, but will they win it in a 4-1? Or will they win it in a 5-0? Time is yet to tell here, as plenty of DLB guys start to move across the fields here, getting into the point. Private Ramp positioning himself right on the front side. POP here from Captain Spears. Also going to be able to get some bodies up into the point. But Cheesy, Loss, and Andrio looking to try to move up. We can see the OP right there behind that broken down Lux. But so far, man, this Crusaders pushed its way up greatly here into the point. Captain Spears coming off. Captain Spears not aware of the two little red cherries running right behind him, but he does get away as that OP gets burned. But they're going to pass like 2 ships in the night. No, never mind. They are going to turn around and notice each other, and Spears unfortunately going to fall victim to that. Now with 31 seconds left, will DLB be able to get some type of cap pressure here? If they can get some cap pressure, we could see the 5-0. Otherwise, we are going to end up with a 3 or a 4-1 victory here. 18 seconds. All bodies now. Okay, no spawns really in the area here for DLB. Gonna leave him in a difficult little situation here. As with that, 3, 2, 1, boom, we are now done. So 4-1 going to be our final score here on this friendly between 1SPS and DLB. DLB walking away with their heads held high after defending their homeland here. As we see the sun setting off into the distance. The Dutch defenders coming up big, playing as their allied British counterparts, able to force back the German rush. You guys have enjoyed what you've been seeing. I would much appreciate any likes, any subscribes you guys can give to the channel. I know sometimes it's a little bit long to go ahead and listen to a guy ramble on here for an hour and a half talking through a matchup. But we appreciate you guys joining us here wherever in the world you might be, whether it be your evening, whether your afternoon, morning. We just appreciate you guys being members of the nest. Any likes, any subscribes you guys can give would be greatly appreciated. Help us get through the algorithm formulas, get this on more eyes. We very much appreciate it. Try to grow the Hell Let Loose competitive community. But this is my last cast for the weekend. A little bit lighter here on the cast with it being Valentine's Day weekend. But we will look to be doing our show here, our new after action report here, probably Tuesday evening my time. And so invite you to go ahead and bookmark that. Keep your eyes out as we'll be reviewing the top plays of the last week in competitive Hell Let Loose console action, as Noonie ends up getting one of the final kills of the matches here. We'll also be reviewing some of the standings and the scores from various leagues around the area. So I invite you to go ahead and tune in for that. Try to keep it about a half hour. And it is a live interactive show. So for once, I'll be able to interact and try to respond to you guys in real time versus a 30-minute delay. But nonetheless, there we have it. 4-1 victory going in favor of DLB. Appreciate you guys for all tuning in, enjoying with us. Let's go ahead and give our commendation there. War Daddy NL given looks like a master class here with the combat score, as well as a wonderful rocket to go ahead and prevent that reinforcing airhead for the Axis. That really could have been an interesting development had they been able to get that. But at the end of the day, still we are at 4-1 lead here for the Allies. So as I like to do always here at the end of my cast, I like to go ahead and jump on, look at the stats real fast, and we'll go ahead and take a look and see how the picture developed on the backside. So let's go ahead and pop on over there. Give you a little bit of background music here. All right. There we go. A little bit of stuff in the background. Go ahead and listen to as we go through this. I'll take off that PlayStation sound as well so you don't hear double things going on for you. But here we go. 1SPS, though, leading out the kills with Desmi. I apologize. Couldn't pronounce your name, but hey, good for you. Landing on top of that kill board there. 114 kills. Very well done. Thompson, also from 1SPS, running with 89 kills. Dextro, the very first person here from the Allies, running with 75, tied with King. So there you go. Some very good individual efforts there. Of course, not always individual, but at the end of the day, they're the ones pulling the trigger. So very well done. Looking at the overall stats here, though. Infantry kills going in favor of DLB, 963 to 874. Just under about, just about 90 kills, and 89 kills difference there for the two of them. So very close. Machine gunners, though, coming in big for the Axis side, 92 kills, 49. Artillery, 88 to 39. We saw a lot of good artillery shells going in right off the bat. Looks like Axis artillery was able to go ahead and win that fight. Armor, though, big for DLB, as we were kind of seeing. Still very surprised. Did not see any real heavy tanks coming out for the 1SPS side. Not quite sure if there was agreement or something going on there, but at the end of the day, I do not recall seeing any Tigers. If they had them out, they wouldn't have been out very long. Snipers all in favor of DLB. Looks like 1SPS not running any snipers today. Grenades pretty evenly killed. Bazooka kills all favor of the Panzerschreck. That's got to be wrong. We watched multiple people take out people with the Piat, so I think the Piat is a little bugged. I don't think it has a way to count it up as easily, which might be leading to some grenade kills. Not 100% sure, but at the end of the day, I think the Piat for some reason doesn't count into the bazooka kills. Satchels, big satchels we saw taking out tanks both sides. Mines, pack guns. Kill differential, though, goes a long way in showing you how the overall gameplay of the match went. We can see 1SPS really lost a lot of that middle ground area by pretty larger margins compared to their counterparts on the DLB side. Most of them being 10 to 7, 5 kills difference. So without the first couple people at the very front of the leaderboard there, makes it a little more difficult in the tail end, where you usually find like the tank commanders and whatnot with 0s, 1 kills, those kind of things towards the end. But end of the day, appreciate you guys all joining us here on the Falcon Cast. It's been a pleasure having you. Again, if you like what you're seeing, like what you're you like what you're seeing, you like to support the channel, a subscribe, share. It really goes a long way in helping us out here. But with that, we'll let you guys go back to the rest of your days. And of course, as always, we'll see you next time on the battlefield.